Uh, Hi.
Hello, Vikings! As you may have realized, Nico's here as well.
Hi. Again.
Um, and yeah, we got a new Q&A. New year, new Q&A, I guess. And as per usual, it gets kind of funny. First off, we got the question if there are any plans for a subtree for the Italian ground forces to bolster their lineups. Obviously, taking inspiration from the South African and Finnish vehicles, and all we get is yes.
Yeah. Full disclaimer, I haven't read any of this yet, so this is a live reaction from Nico. So
Yeah,
far, this is just it's Gaijin.
it's good. But I
It's
mean,
Gaijin.
it's probably gonna be a Hungarian tree or blind.
Yeah, sounds about right.
We got some Hungarian stuff in there already. Would make sense. I believe it's Hungarian at least.
Do you have the game up by chance?
I do. I just
Great.
swapped over to it. Yeah, Hungary on the
Yes.
Taldi and the Turan.
What was the IRA 81C again?
The IR-81C.
Yeah, that's the plane. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. You'll have to tell me.
It's the oh god. Um, it's blue, yellow, red.
Blue, yellow, red. That's Romanian.
Thank you.
That could also be a possibility for some of the vehicles. Mixed
Yes.
line of Romanian and Hungarian. Basically, like the borderline Slavic countries.
Hard bass intensifies.
Then we got a question about changing crew voices for South Africa and Finland, as well as British crews in ground, because we now have proper crew voices in naval with the actual language of the crew. And
give
I
give
mean,
my Norwegian leopard the Norwegian crew, damn it.
I knew that was coming. Um, but yeah, we got two subtrees in a nation that don't actually use their own crew voices.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to be honest. Like seeing, hearing it's just Swedish when it's supposed to be Finnish and
I
that kind of
mean,
stuff.
the South African is just a different dialect of English.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like there should be some difference because you could kind of hear when somebody's from South Africa.
Yeah, it's quite obvious. And also just the British using American crews.
Yeah, that too. I feel like I should have a bit much more English take on it, so to say. They don't necessarily have to be super posh, but some of the actually used British words, so to say.
Blimey, bollocks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
next
what?
question. Some years ago, they mentioned British light tanks under consideration. And the question basically goes if there are plans for some of the more famous ones, like the Saladin and Scorpion and Fox and what have you. There's a whole list.
Yeah, the fox and the ferret. That's sounds good.
I know. Also, more variants of the Warrior. And further goes on to maybe an entire light tank line for Britain. And again, they're just simply answering yes.
Yes, the vehicles are in planning. That is like, I'm pretty sure they have a copy paste to answer those questions.
Yeah. Basically means yes, it's in the pipeline somewhere, but whether
Yeah,
it's
but that
in past for consideration or we're actually working on them, who knows?
that pipeline is about as long as the gas line between the Europe and the United States.
Yep, and about as transparent as well.
Yeah, so it's not, you know, probably not anywhere soon, probably, but it could also be right around the corner. You never know.
Probably some point this year. Usually when it
Maybe.
goes in the Q&A, it ends up being part of 2023 content. Well, that year's content.
Yeah, that's fair.
The next question, a person is asking about the directional damage indicators for ground forces and options to switch between the new old effect or turning them off entirely.
Yes, please. I want it.
Well, you'll like the answer then, because their answer is that they are working on it right now and hope to implement it on the first update of 2023.
Yeah, to be honest, it's something that should have been in the settings at 2014,
Yeah, pretty
but
much.
they didn't. But yes, I want it.
But Gaijin.
Thumbs up. If it comes, obviously. I'm not gonna congratulate them too much until I see the major updates.
Well, yeah. Who knows? Might end up not
Yeah,
coming until 2032.
yeah, because Gaijin has never told that, yeah, it's coming that update and it didn't come. They've
Yeah.
never done that. They're always true to their word.
Um, then we got the next question, which is a very long one with an even longer answer. Question is basically as to adjusting the multipliers for a vehicle to the BR rather than the rank. The example the person comes with is the EBR, which started out at 4.7 and is 6.3 now, but has a lower modifier than the AMX 13 M24 at 3.7.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, their answer is basically mumbo jumbo magic numbers. The numbers we show you don't matter shit.
Yeah. Once again, the stats doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with what actually happens anywhere.
Yep.
Gives you, at best, a rough idea.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Basically, the EBR performs better than they want it to, so they have a sub 1 multiplier on it, and the AMX performs worse than they want it to, so it has a above 1 modifier.
Aren't there some of the vehicles that have like a four times multiplier and stuff here and there?
No, I think like 2.5 is the highest.
That's kind of depressing, though, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, it's obviously all premiums that have that high.
The box tank has 1.6, 1.5.
Yep, because the Bugs tank does not perform as good as it should, apparently.
What's it supposed to do then? Just steamroll all the teams? Jesus.
I don't know, but basically,
Oh,
Gaijin's very poor attempt at balancing their game through economy.
the Russian artillery piece has a 1.9.
Yeah,
The SU-122 54 has a 1.9.
yeah.
The Object 268 has a 1.9. Okay, so that what the
Hang
conclusion of
on,
this is? It's all
hang on,
bullshit.
hang on. Object 120. What's the Object 120 at? The Object
1.5
120.
Advance.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. The space tank is at 1.5. That's bullshit.
If anything that's below
The
1.
Moderna is 2.
Don't actually really think there's anything other than the EBR that's below 1 in the SL reward for premiums.
No, the closest thing is the 2S38 at 1.25.
Oh, no, T34E. 0.65.
Wow. Oh, the KV1 and sorry, the KV2 1940 is 105, as well as the KV220. So it's
K1E
almost,
is at 0.7.
yeah. The TV is also 1.05.
Apparently, the
Oh,
KV220
I,
does not perform as well as they want it to.
I found one. That's below 1. The Matilda Mark 2.
Oh
It's
yeah.
0.7. Because
Apparently
I
the
see
premium Nico,
the BT7 is 0.5. What?
Nico, Nico.
What?
The BM824
Uh,
0.85.
the BT7A with the 75 millimeter is also 0.5.
Yeah. Basically, Gaijin's just making everything up.
Yeah, I found one that's even worse. The T126 is 0.45.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, when this was like the best tanks, basically, when the Tiger was basically top tier
The,
at that
the,
point.
the M3 medium for Russia, 0.4.
Yeah, but still,
The
like the T1.
BA11, it gets even better, 0.2.
Why?
And that's not a very good vehicle.
The T35 is 0.3.
Yeah. Gaijin makes everything up. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm pretty sure they had like a dark night or something that with drinks, and they just threw it at the board, and yeah, that's about what it's gonna be.
Sounds about right. Basically, Gaijin cannot figure out how to balance their game on economy.
Yeah, it really shouldn't balance a game on economy. To be honest, it's not a capitalist game, is it?
I mean, it's fair enough to do it to some degree, but you,
Well,
you
yeah,
shouldn't be taking away rewards from a vehicle because it performs well.
yeah, you should. Honestly, I feel like they should instead make it. Yeah, it's more expensive to use, like risk to reward, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Because if you lose it and completely muck it up, then
Well,
you
they
should be
were
punished
doing
for it.
that, and that just meant the bombers had ludicrous fucking repair costs.
Yeah, at like 47,000 and that kind of stuff. Like, I kind of understand why they had to change those, but those were very specific planes
Yeah.
that had those high costs. It was the B-29 and the TU-4.
It was basically planes that were able to wipe out all bases and the airfield on their own, which, I
Yeah,
mean,
while
in
being in space.
theory, possible, but in practice, not so much.
And while being in space.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to planes.
Oh no. Wait,
Um,
hang on. You hopped over the SAM, or the Japanese stuff, I think. Or am I looking at the wrong... never mind.
that's
I'm
further
done
down.
talking rubbish.
That's in planes for some
Yep.
reason.
Yeah, cut that out. Edit that out.
No
Shit.
effort.
Ah, damn it. Oh well.
And staying on brand.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, planes. The first question. We have fourth gen fighter, well, aircraft. Cough,
Oh
cough,
no.
fighters, basically exclusively.
Oh no.
Basically, do they plan to add injection seat animations for higher rank aircraft? And the answer is very shortly yes, and hopefully this year.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure which year Gaijin is actually living in, if it's 2023 or in 2026, but whatever.
Well, according to Jingles, with some point in 2050 something.
Yeah, but that's with his annual video, so that I'm pretty sure that's it's in 2067 by now or something.
Are you sure Gaijin doesn't do the same thing but backwards, so they're actually 30 years behind?
Could be. Wait, hang on. If they're 30 years behind, are they still like sitting on a Macintosh?
Anyway.
That would explain a lot.
Anyway, let's get onwards. Next one's another long one, which is basically do we get more complex countermeasure systems on planes? Initially for flare parts from the tornado, and also adding onto it the missile warning system that some helicopters get. The answer is very long and basically boils down to not yet.
Just like very quickly reading on some of it, it's like as you usually say, effort.
Yeah.
They could do it. I don't think they want to. Ah, okay. Well, anyway.
It's also very much a point of a lot of the flare countermeasure pods we have interchangeable countermeasures with the same caliber, and the new ones have a bigger selection of countermeasures, but they can only carry one type at any given time.
Yeah, which is being Norwegian and having had quite a lot of F-16s at least. I'm pretty sure that thing could technically carry the two different types of countermeasure if it wanted to,
Yeah.
in different calibers as well. If they
Eh,
really wanted to push it, it's not like you can't do it. It's you know, but
And
it
as
requires
for
effort.
a missile approach warning system, I think it's supposed to be, I can't remember, but warning system for missiles. For planes, most of the sensors are there to detect SAM launches, not air-to-air launches. Um, so it's not worth the effort currently
But yeah,
because
to be fair,
planes
it
definitely don't
can.
fight SAMs.
What do you mean?
Which, speaking of, the next question.
Yeah, but right before we hop to the next question, Berserker,
Yeah,
we kind of have a missile launch warning system in game already. It's called detection range
yeah,
and time. So we kind of have it, but
called the good old Mark 1 eyeball.
yeah, but then again, I feel like just a light like beep noise when a missile has been detected would have been nice, but nothing major more than
Yeah.
that. But anywho, yes.
The next question. Japan doesn't have top tier SAM or close support aircraft. Is there any plans to fill these gaps, either by domestic vehicles or adding some subtrees like South Korea? And Gaijin just goes ahead and entirely ignores the first part of the question about Sam and just goes, they don't have strike aircraft. Well, that's not really the question either. But they plan to add some multi-purpose aviation for higher BRs to deal with ground targets.
Okay, so what they said is that they completely ignored our plea to have more AA and said, yes, we're going to make life for tankers even harder.
Yep. Oh, you're
Great.
gonna love it when we get further down.
Oh, no. Don't. No. Nope.
The next question is about the lead markers for the aircraft with targeting computers on board for the guns. Some of the more modern aircraft can actually calculate a lead vector, similar to radar AA.
To be fair, some of the planes already have a optic if you use the cockpit mode that actually show you where the shells are gonna land at a certain distance.
Yeah, but most of those are for air to ground, and the others are more general.
Oh, the
Uh,
one in the Draken, if you turn, it moves, and I've tested it that it does in fact land where that optic ends. But it requires you to be in cockpit view, and it also requires you to be close enough that you don't go off the little
yeah,
plate. But
yeah,
it's
we do
kinda
have
there.
some dynamic HUDs, kinda.
Yeah, it's kinda there. You can use
Um,
it if you wanted to, but it's very advanced for your
but
casual player.
but this is even more advanced with actually showing a lead indicator.
Yeah, I don't want it. We have
Well,
missiles.
the answer is that they're considering implementing it in the cockpit for the HUD,
But
and maybe in
probably in
third
third
person
person.
as well.
But probably in third
Yeah,
person. So it's definitely gonna end up
but
in third
I
person.
mean, to be honest, at the BRs where planes start to have it, it really doesn't matter because the likelihood of you getting gunned is slim. Because before the person trying to shoot you down with guns gets anywhere near you, you've had to have dodged like 16 missiles.
Yeah. I sent you a picture recently of the one of the Russian missiles. It has a 50-kilometer launch range, but the 100-kilometer, max range and a 5.8 Mach maximum speed.
That's a good while ago. But yeah,
Yes. Like, when the Tomcat came out, we all instantly realized, hey, radar guided long range, beyond visual range missiles. That means you're gonna have to potentially dodge a hail of missiles before you can even think about using your own infrared guided missiles.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's unlikely to use your guns, but when you need them, it's nice to have.
And speaking of maps being way too small for stupidly long range engagement shoved up to you,
Yeah,
any
let's
plans
make the
of
map bigger.
transferring all BR 1130 plus aviation era B to EC size maps of 128 by 128 or larger?
How am I going to use my Chica to shoot down jets now?
Well, you'll like the answer because the answer is no.
Great.
They're going to be increasing the amount of the larger scale maps we have already, and add some more with actual the old logic but larger scale.
Which means out of the 15 maps that tried to use my Chica at that BR, I'm going to end only on big maps.
Yep.
Yep. Got it.
Which, I mean, to be fair, when you're flying planes that easily do Mach 1.3, then you kind of need big maps.
Yeah, I completely agree for the jets itself. It makes complete sense, but I do meme stuff.
It ruins some of the fun.
Yes, it does. But for actual jet players, I completely understand this argument. But I know there are some people who actually do enjoy those smaller maps every now and then, just to let off some steam instead of flying for 10 minutes and dying.
Yeah, don't to mention the people who just yay out or kill themselves when they get on the bigger maps because reasons.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, it takes time. Oh no, it's not working like World of Warplanes. Boo
Yeah.
hoo.
Oh
Oh well.
god, so imagine missiles in that game. What a shit show.
Yeah, 100-kilometer range missiles. I
Um
don't wanna. Nope. Never mind.
anyway, the
I
next
completely
question.
disagree.
More functional environment for airfields apart from AA guns like radar stations and jamming stations and drones and all that sort of stuff. And even the potential of destructible runways when there's more than one in a mission. Like, not the way they have currently, where if you destroy the runway, you've won, period. But
Yeah, and this is the most freaking gaijin answer ever.
probably yes.
Yeah. Fuck's sake, gaijin. Why? Oh my god. That's so vague, though. Honestly, like probably yes.
Yeah.
Well, isn't
It
that the
wouldn't even
politician's
be
way of
that.
saying no?
It wouldn't even be that hard because they already have a sectioned runway logic for enduring, well, EC style maps, sim style maps, basically,
Well,
where
yeah.
each airfield has four support sectors in the runway itself, and you can damage any of these.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things they do have. Like, they could add more things to the field as well.
Yep.
Other than just bomb points that they do have
Yep.
now. They could actually have a proper, like, that point is for, like, aircraft repair or whatever. So it adds, like, 10 seconds to the repair. Or whatever they could do.
Yep.
Just more than just a bomb point.
Yep.
I'm just gonna... Squire's videos, the War Thunder experience.
Yeah.
They kind of hit the nail on the head on the nail. They were like, we have to destroy these vital German things in Antarctica. Like, what?
Yeah. It would be nice to have
Was there a random factory out there? What the hell?
have bomb points be actual support bases for the airfield and the front lines.
Yeah, or at least a base that actually makes sense. Like, bomb these factories instead of, bomb this random piece of thing we put out in the middle of nowhere.
This random hop. Yeah.
I don't mind having the fobs, but could they at least, add
Yeah.
something that you could
Push it
actually
up a
line
little.
bomb? for instance, like having there's a row of factories here, bomb them, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Next, radar missiles. Well, anti-radar missiles for aircraft. Because apparently in 11.0 and above, mixed battles, SAMs absolutely dominate aircraft. I don't know what game this guy's playing, but it's clearly not War Thunder.
No, apparently not. Because yeah, I know that the people who are competent using the manually guided AA, yes, sure, they can get a lot of kills. But it's not like it's dominating.
Not even close.
The other thing it's dominating, it's the
It's
oh god,
smart munitions from planes.
yes,
Yeah, smart munition like anti-radar fucking missiles.
yeah. There's a lot of weird ass things that planes have. Like when you can get into some of the battles and you can loiter with your plane 10 kilometers away and just drop hell, and there's nothing the enemy can do about it.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
I mean, to be fair, 11.0 plus, we do have the absolute top BRAA with in excess of 10-kilometer range missiles, but
Yeah, but it's not always they work as intended because of the people
nope.
using them are incompetent
Yep.
to some extent. And then again, you have those absolute sweaty, try-hard pilots that sit at that extreme limit of the range of both sides at any given time.
Or just sit 5 kilometers up directly above the airfield where you won't get pinged by AA radar because AA radar has a static search height and you can't actually alter the height of search.
Yeah, that too. It would be nice actually to be able to call in like a radar drone. You know what I mean? Not drone, but plane. You
Yeah,
know the big planes with the big ass thing on it.
radar planes.
Yeah, like
Or
here
you know,
now.
just be able to alter your search height on the AA radar, which some of them can do.
Yes, quite a lot of them can actually. At least of the modern higher tier ones. Feel also like when they're above a certain altitude, I kind of feel like the airfield should be giving us a ping about them every now and then.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea for something for planes to do in top tier ground battles. Go bombing radar stations.
But yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it's not like that those have been used since World War II.
No.
Yeah, how did the British see where the Germans came bombing again? Was it luck?
How did the British win the fucking Battle of Britain?
Yeah. It's almost like they had radar stations so they knew where the Germans would attack.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Uh,
Gaijin's answer to anti-radar missiles is that they are actually considering it, which is not
no!
good. There is, however, a lot of problems with it, besides just actually collecting all the information they need to implement them. Most of the earlier ones, like 60s to 80s ones, were not actually able to hit self-propelled AA. They were more to hit big radar stations.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, but yeah, actually, when we were talking about this Berserker, how many of the good players actually use the radar anyway?
Um, well, it also somewhat depends on the AA because some of them you can't really actually fire your missile without at least giving a laser ping.
Yeah, the laser ping is definitely there because a lot of them are beam riding. To be
Yeah,
fair,
and the laser ping is a huge problem against helicopters.
yeah, which helicopters can just sit there and basically don't do anything because everything happens automatically.
But yeah, if you actually try hard AA in top tier, you'll do occasional like 2, 3, 4 sweeps with your search radar, and then you'll turn it back off to not give away your position.
Yep. Uh, You know, sometimes this is very off-topic, Berserker. Helicopter players in War Thunder, at least the top tier ones, kind of reminds me of aircraft carrier players in World of Warships.
In that they're being too brain dead to do anything other than what they're doing at the very moment.
Yep, because everything else happens automatically.
Yep.
They don't have to fly it because it's it auto hovers.
You
You don't have
press
to
one
drop your
button and you
flares.
just stay there.
Yeah, you don't have to drop your flares because that happens automatically when it's getting locked.
You don't have to pay attention because you get a warning when the missile is launched at you.
Yeah, so
You don't have to guide your own missile to the target because you can just lock onto the target and it'll track for you.
Yep. But when they have a gun AA, if you actually somehow manage to get too close, what you basically have to do, you have to hold the A or the D key and just do a roll and go back to what you were doing.
Yeah.
So
Not to mention that the gun AA has to empty its entire magazine into the helicopter to kill it in the first place.
yes.
But yeah, they
So
are considering anti-radar missiles as a balancing option for top tier. Not that we need it.
yeah, we really don't need it. What we do need is more of the long range, like proper screw you type of missiles
Yeah.
from the ground.
Yeah. Anyway, the next question. More physics for aircraft bombs.
Yes. Yes, please.
I'm actually potentially making armor penetrating bombs useful.
Yeah, it's not like the Japanese have a few of those that are absolute dog shit.
That are just the same but with worse explosives because
Yeah,
they
it's
basically have a flat 10 raid. And if they don't hit somewhere that has that or less, they don't do anything.
yeah, it's almost like those bombs were supposed to be dropped at the ship's deck, go through the deck, and then explode on the inside.
Yeah,
Who'da thunk? But
but
not in this game. No, no,
but
no,
it's
no, no.
way better to just drop the same amount of explosives under deck and just let that explode.
Yeah, because then you will overpressure the entire ship instead. So
But
dumb.
but yes, they are actually planning to update the kinetic damage on bombs,
Yes, I
which
want
which
that
would be
because
a lot of
it
fun
would
in
make
ground
sense.
battles as well. Because bonking a bomb into the side of a tank and just have it stick there would be so much fun.
Yeah, I can just imagine like a small tank at the PE8 bomb in his head and immediately die before the explosion.
Yeah,
So, oh, well, I got crushed.
I want to catch a toilet bomb with my face now.
I kind of wanted to just disintegrate. I'll be honest, the toilet itself.
Yeah, but imagine how much fun it would be to just drive around a mouse with the toilet in the turret.
Yeah, I kind of want them to stick a little bit, stick around.
Anyway, onto helicopters. We only got one question. AGM 114L. That's like a late Hellfire, I believe.
Hang on. Which nation even has those?
AGM 114L. That's the longbow.
Yeah, the K is the Hellfire 2.
I mean, it's still a Hellfire, but Hellfire longbow.
Yeah, who has those anyway?
Um,
Uh,
the US and Britain, probably.
the AH-64D doesn't have it. It's the B. That's also the B.
I should just go on the Wikipedia page. Probably easier to find specifications on the longbow.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's China that has those, to be honest.
It is a
No.
radar guided version of the.
Oh God.
And
Oh God.
basically, their answer is no because it just nullifies smoke screens and other forms of thin soft cover, I suppose.
Yeah, that's that. I completely agree that it should not be in the game because Hellies are stupid enough to begin with.
Actually, I'm entirely sure that the top British,
So that's the case.
well, yeah, but it would be able to carry the L's
Well, yeah, it's definitely capable of carrying it, but I don't care. I
because,
don't want it.
it has the radar on top of the rotor, which means you could actually just pop over the radar and fire your missiles off at targets without really revealing yourself at all.
Yeah, because that's balance, isn't it?
That's balance.
It's not like it's this game is not this part of the game isn't balanced already. Like,
Fortunately, Guardian 2 agrees that
oh my god.
it's a no.
Yeah, the Hellfires with this 1200 pen and 8 kilometer range.
The
The
Hellfires are
Hellfire
painful
2.
enough as they are.
Yeah, this is the 114Ks, to be fair.
Yeah.
But when you have 16 of them,
Yeah.
it's it's kind of silly. And you have 100, and you can have 120 flares or
I mean,
chaff.
the L's are basically the same, but you suddenly don't need line of sight from the front of the helicopter to what you're trying to shoot. You can settle with line of sight from the top of your helicopter.
Yeah, which how about no?
Anyway, onto naval, because fuck helicopters.
Yes, fuck
Um,
helicopters.
French Navy.
Uh, uh,
Stay tuned for news.
bloody
Also known
hell.
as Soon TM. I'm
PM.
I'm suspecting that this is gonna be if not the major content in the next patch, part of it.
Yeah, when they say it like that, it's kind of like we don't really want to talk about it because we're about to announce it.
Yeah, it should only be a few weeks before Doveblik season again, so
Oops. Yeah,
let's say wait for us to announce it.
I mean, to be fair, I kind of want the French Navy because there are some funny
I
funnies.
Yeah, I want to because Hong Hong Baguette and
Yeah,
very fast ships, like stupidly fast ships.
yeah. I wonder, are they gonna add the breast?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, because if they add that, I can already see the memes and the jokes going around.
The next question is on camouflages and customization of coastal vessels and in general just naval forces. Because there is a lot less options available currently than there was initially, and they are going to be bringing back customization for both ships and boats in the upcoming updates.
Yay!
Which also leads me to think that our first update of this year is going to be very naval focused.
I mean, I'll be honest, it kind of needs an update. There's a bunch
It
of things
does.
I really think should be changed on the naval side, like the time limit and the ticket limit should be significantly higher on naval.
Yeah, especially with battleships included.
Yeah, on the boats or anything like when you can't meet the heavy, like really heavy cruisers and the battleships or battle cruisers for that matter,
Yeah.
then it's fine. But when you start going up to the 250 and beyond class of gun, they can literally sit in the spawn and just lob shells.
Not to mention that you can spawn a small boat and win the game before the big ships even really get to actually fight each other.
Yeah, that's another thing because especially with like the SKR 7 and those kind of things, when you spawn in those, go to the one or two of the points and like sit behind an island, and you won the game.
But hey, that nicely leads us on to the next question. Um,
Looks suspended, huh?
yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that means either. Weird Russian translation.
Yeah,
But basically, will we get updates to how naval battles function? Because some of it feels stale, and some of it is too small, and some of it is too big, and basically just it's a mess. Um, we will get updates for and further development of both arcade and realistic, but no simulator battles for naval.
Well, they're not planned, but they're not dismissing it
Well,
completely.
no, but we both know when Gaijin says not planned, that means 5 years minimum.
Yeah, that's fair. But then again, like, how the hell would they do simulator battles in a battleship or in a ship? Are you gonna be stuck to looking through the window from the bridge?
That would be funny. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, but you
Have
see
a
my
have a
point.
little man you can run around in the ship with.
Oh no, no, trying to make them have walking physics. Oh hell no, it's gonna break the physics engine again.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it would be funny.
Yeah, it would, but like, how would it work though? How do you hell do you identify the ship at 20 kilometers when people barely can identify a ship at 2 kilometers? And as
N-
far as I've been
not to
concerned,
mention that we don't actually have any naval game modes currently that aren't mixed.
yeah. So there's a battleship over there. It's I don't know if it's friendly or enemy because it's the same nation as me, but it's over there.
When you're sitting in a Congo looking at a Congo and considering whether or not to shoot.
Yeah, it's like, uh, if we shoot first, I'm shooting back.
Anyway, the next question, patrol flight modes for scout planes and naval. Yes, they plan to add that to naval and just in general improve the mechanic as a whole.
Yes, I really want them to do something about those little planes, considering they're they have a tendency to crash themselves.
Yeah.
I also feel like if you are in them and you set them like you leave them at say 100 meters altitude, I don't think they feel like they should stall climb themselves immediately.
No, they want to fly at, I think, 500-meter altitude, and they will literally stall themselves out trying to get there if you leave them below that.
Yep. I feel like if you leave them at the 100, they should try to be at the 100 within like 20 meters up or down, basically.
Carve literally just do as a scout drone, and when you leave it, it'll just level out at that altitude and fly in a straight line, or if you activate it in a circle.
Yeah, but since the flight characteristics of those really slow naval planes are a bit off here and there, so when they turn or whatever, they lose altitude, but they will always try to target whatever you left them at.
But it
Ish.
would be a nice mechanic to have.
Yes. Damage from fragments. Oh god.
Yep. A very long question of are we gonna get an update to how ships takes damage from shells, and the answer is just it all works as it should.
Um.
Because, you know, when you shoot a battleship caliber shell into a room at the front of the ship, the walls of the room are gonna absorb all the fragments.
Um. No.
Well, according to
That's
Gaijin, yes.
okay. Let's roll this a little bit back. If you hit the front of the ship and the next wall you're about to hit is the ammo compartment, yes, probably it will stop because it's armored to all
Except,
hell.
you know, not really from the front, but
Quite a lot of like old dreadnoughts are armored in all different directions, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
Or also they have the citadel armor belt on the front anyway, before
yeah,
the magazines.
yeah. But
So
yeah,
yeah,
I
that makes
mean,
sense. But when you're hitting, say, center mass on the side, in there, and there's nothing else like armored in there, the fragments should basically almost go out the other side.
yeah, I get the question, and I do feel like it would need some fixing, because it does feel like a lot of the time when you hit a room that isn't even necessarily in an armored part of the ship, your entire shell can very easily get absorbed by that one room.
Yeah, it's only superstructure, and so, like I understand that not all shrapnel will go through. A lot of the shrapnel will just kind of like dent the walls and stuff. It's still steel.
Yeah.
But some of the shrapnel are going incredibly fast, and would be enough to at least go through a wall or two.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, this would probably be have to be modeled in, like, every wall has to be a certain thickness, blah 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 blah. But they've done it on some of the ships already with all the walls,
Yeah,
so I
some of the newer
don't really see the
ones.
problem.
They,
Yeah,
they
so
aren't
I
very
don't really
good
see the
at
problem.
actually implementing changes in the back catalog on ships.
Yeah, no, it's like, yay, look,
It,
we improved on this completely new thing, so everything else is still the same.
it took them a year and a half to change the River class frigate for Britain from the compartment damage to the room damage.
Yeah, it's it's kind of depressing, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Oh.
Especially when it gets the same treatment as the Destroyer in all the matchmaking.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Anywho, the last question, which is the
Yes,
best,
please.
the best worst one. Is there
Yes.
any consideration into splitting battle ratings for aircraft and ground battles? Many aircraft can perform strongly or poorly in one mode over the other, particularly attackers. But due to the influence of one or the other, some vehicles find themselves in tough spots based on their ground loadouts or capabilities. For those that prefer to use the aircraft in ARB, is there any possibility of separate battle rating calculations for both modes? This is something I've been wanting for
As
at
long as I've
least
known
4
you.
years at this point.
Yes, longer than I've known you, to be fair. So,
But basically, since I got to around 4-3 German tanks and I started facing P-47s every single fucking match,
yeah.
um, and Guardian's answer to this is that it might sound weird, but whenever they discuss this and they look at the statistics, the aircraft they expect to perform strong with a BR split are quite effective in their game modes. And like, well, yeah, duh, when a plane does really well as CAS, most people bring it as fucking CAS.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Like the P fucking 47.
Yeah, the P-47, if you bring it in an air battle, it's not great.
It's very tricky to do well in, and it's very reliant on positioning and circumstance.
Yeah, so like I said, it's not great for
Yeah.
compared to a lot of the other things that you can basically just, smash your face into the keyboard and get 4 kills.
But if you bring it in ground, you can basically annihilate half the enemy ground forces.
Yeah, and then return to the airfield and go back and do the same thing again.
Or just use your 50 cals to destroy everybody's engines.
Yeah, I kind of felt like after you expended all your ammo, whatever, and whatever else you had,
Yeah.
it's not. I'm not saying it's quick, like super quick, but it's quick enough to go back to the airfield and get back before the match has completely changed the
Yeah.
hands.
The,
So,
the best way to counter P-47 in a ground battle is with the 109.
yeah, or a zero or whatever else you can
Or,
get your
or,
hands on.
or option two, that the P-47 pilot is a tanker who has no idea how to fly and he flies into the ground, dropping the first bombs.
Yeah, or bombing himself.
Or bombs. Yeah, that's true.
Like the P-47, it's not retard proof,
No.
but it's very good for ground attack purposes.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing with Cass, you can easily rack up a minimum of 2 or 3 kills per. Uh, what the
Yes.
hell is that? Sortie, that's the word.
Yeah. So, I've seen you, Berserker, hopping in a P-47, racking up 6 kills, going back to the airfield and getting 2 more.
Yep.
And you didn't even break a sweat. It's not like the enemy was like clumped up together in any like more
Nope.
than usual. It's just you can carry that many bombs and have those so many bullets. You can just do that.
Don't forget the H-bars.
Yeah, that too.
On my way in, AA starts to open up. Rocket snipe, rocket snipe, rocket snipe, bomb, bomb. And the people you just bombed spawn back in AA because they're annoyed they got killed by a P-47, so you do some more rocket sniping.
Yeah, and like, yeah, sure, rocket sniping takes some skill, but when you have, is it 8 of them, or is it 10?
I think it's 10. Let me go look.
It's 4
That's
on
the
each wing.
wrong tree.
I can't remember if it's 5 on each wing, or if it's actually 6 on each wing as well.
It is 5 on each wing.
Yeah, so you have 10 of those.
And
so,
2 bomb drops, one of them being 2,000 pounds.
Yes. 2 1,000-pounders. That is not 2,000 pounds.
Yeah, but you drop 2,000 pounds of bombs.
Yes, but they're spaced out a little bit.
Which just make it easier to get multiple people.
Yeah, exactly. But like, sure, the rocket sniping isn't particularly. It's not like easy, but when you have 10 tries,
combined with shooting them at open tops and the HVAR rockets actually carrying a decent amount of explosives at 3.5 kilo.
Yeah, and the first P-47 you get what is it, 4.7?
3.7, but that does not have any. That doesn't carry the HVARs.
No, but
and 4.3 in the one that carries the HVARs.
But still, it's like you get the first one at 3.7. It still has 2,000-pound bombs and
yeah,
and a 500-pound bomb, and or you could if you're feeling lucky, you could use the bazookas.
Yeah, the bazookas don't really work for rocket sniping though.
Naval luck.
I have tried, granted in naval, and in naval they do kind of work, but
yeah, but in naval a lot of things work that shouldn't. Yeah, but still 4.3, and you can carry all that.
Yep.
At a airframe, which is not slow, but not super quick, but
it's a pretty fast airframe.
Yeah, but it's not insanely quick. It's not an XP-50.
No. The AA you get to fight it is a Wind or an Ostwind.
Yeah, which are, to be fair, are good AA. Yeah, that's not a great AA. But to be fair, the Ostwind or the Rebel is good AA, but it's not good enough.
Yeah, really the best AA you can get to fight the P-47 is the Crusader AA Mark II, because it's closed.
Yeah, that is a good point. It is closed. Other than that, you have to use the 2.3, the Swedish one.
Other than that, you basically suffer in everything because it's dusters and open tops and just no.
Yeah, it's open top dusters or oh god, what's it called? Jesus Christ. Never mind.
Or barely barely AA, more tank destroyer.
Yes, thank you. Automatic tank destroyers. That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. They are also open top, but they're not useful AA, as far as I'm concerned.
Not really.
A lot better to shoot the tanks.
At least not at close range. Close range AA.
Yeah, there are more medium range too. That's true, but still.
Anyway, that is it for the Q&A and the first pseudo episode of DraugrBeard podcast.
Yeah, testcast.
Yes, testcast. Let's call it that. Has almost been an hour, so let's call it here. Let us know what you think about the Q&A. And hopefully we'll both see you in the next one.
Yes. Final side note: he's the beard, I'm the Draugr.
Yep.
I am the undead.